Hello! In today's Archaeoscoop, my top 3 headlines are as follows. Headline number 1 comes from Paphos, in the southwestern tip of Cyprus. It is here that archaeologists have made a rather interesting find. Now, if you watched the interview that I published yesterday with Paul Blinkhorn, we talked briefly about momentous finds, that is, finds which really capture a moment in time, being just as exciting as finds which are, I don't know, made of gold or silver. In fact, they're probably more exciting for archaeologists. And this find today is truly momentous. It is literally capturing a moment in time, and that is what's being labelled as Crusader poop. Archaeologists from the University of Cambridge have uncovered the remains of a latrine from a castle that was on the site, and it paints a picture, a less than romantic picture, of sanitation and internal health around 800 years ago on that particular site. The person, or rather the poo, contains evidence that the person had intestinal parasites, worms, this kind of thing, and it's all down to a lack of proper sanitation. Now, this often is found actually in the medieval world, particularly in more urban areas where you have concentrations of people and water sources and waste and all sorts of other things being mixed essentially together in very close proximity. So, for example, in medieval York, it's not uncommon, or certainly the poo that was found, it wasn't uncommon to find evidence of such things in that. So it's not an uncommon find, but it is nonetheless a momentous find. It is from a particular moment in history, and therefore worthwhile highlighting. We all love a bit of poo. Headline number 1. Headline number 2 comes from, now you have to bear with me here, Guangzhou Metro Line 6 in China, which has unfortunately destroyed 5 ancient tombs during a recent spate of building on the line. The tombs date to between 2,200 and more than 3,000 years old, and were actually being studied by archaeologists. Apparently they were fairly clearly marked. One was even covered with a protective plastic sheeting, but the builders discounted this, and well, the quote goes like this: "Yesterday we were still conducting archaeological excavations, but all 5 tombs were gone this morning." Now, this is a bit of a horrible story for the archaeology, but that said though, it's also good because it's come to our attention because people were so frustrated by it. It says here, the Metro is facing public outcry, so that is surely a good sign, and hopefully the Metro won't be able to get away with doing similar things to archaeology in the future. We just have to wait and see. That's headline number 2. Headline number 3 is to do with lasers. Laser archaeology in Cambodia, or more to the point, lidar, has been used to find the lost ancient city of Mahend Parvata. There's lots of difficult place names today. Anyway, they found this particular site using lidar. Now, it's been supposedly lost for over 1,000 years, and therefore it's quite an exciting find. But the reason why I thought I'd highlight this story is that it starts out saying, archaeology has long been a science that uses very basic tools to unearth and examine ancient artefacts. But that's not true, Mr. Reporter, whoever's written this actually. Archaeology is often on the forefront of trying out new technologies. Things like, for example, lidar, ground penetrating radar, resistivity surveys, this kind of thing. So actually, archaeology is often on the cusp of new technology. That's a slightly unfair comment to make at the beginning of your story. Nonetheless, an interesting find, and also an interesting technique used to find it, the lidar seeing through the jungle and finding the remains of this city. So that's headline number 3. There you go. For all those headlines, and indeed other news stories in the past few days, check out the links, as always, in the information bar below. Well worth your time having a read of those. Now, in addition to the news stories today, I just wanted to quickly share with you that last night in Hendon, you may recall there was the Spitfires in Burma event which was occurring, where they were going to, it was like a 50-minute long talk, a presentation about the Spitfires in Burma project, what the findings were of that, and the construction of the myth, as much as the archaeology and what happened when they went there. It sounds like it went off with no problems, and also went quite well, especially considering problems on the tube yesterday in London. However, this means that today I'm expecting a massive quantity of footage to be sent my way, and then I'll be uploading it as soon as is possible. So probably this evening, or well, hopefully early tomorrow morning for your delectation and delight. So about 40-ish minutes, quite a long video. At the moment it's set to be around 48 gig. Now bearing in mind the 20-minute video with Paul yesterday was 2 gig, that's quite a big video, so it's being compressed at the moment and then it's going to be uploaded. Nonetheless, all this work which has come my way means that my plans yet again have been pushed back, and my in-focus on one of my favouriteest sites in all the world, West Kennet, will have to come probably next week, looking at this volume of footage. That said though, this has been a very busy week for Archaeoscoop, and you guys have benefited from lots of interesting videos, so I don't feel too bad. And as I say, tomorrow, or hopefully even this evening, you'll be able to see how that conference, or press conference I suppose, how it unfolded, and gauge your response to what was said as well. So I'm quite looking forward to being able to host that footage for you. Yeah, another treat coming this week as well, so I don't feel too bad. But it's just so frustrating. I do love West Kennet, I really do, and it's almost there. It's there, you know, it's almost done. But people just keep on throwing things at me to do. And also as well, this afternoon I have a meeting with a chap who I'm going to be talking about making projects which link outdoor exploration with archaeological investigation for educating young people. It should be really exciting actually. So I've got a busy day ahead. Nonetheless, while I'm busying away, being a busy bee, do take the time, read those news stories, they're well worth your time. And as always, take care, and until next time, bye bye.